For every 4 decliners, you have only 1 advancer. So, dami nag-decline yesterday. Broad-based selling. That's a strong sign of distribution. Same with volume spikes, negative 1.1K. You have more names na nag-decline with a volume spike versus yung mga names na nag-create ng volume spike and ended at a gain. So, that's a sign of strong selling, actually. Strong selling. Now we are seeing that there are more names breaking below their 20-day structures or 20-day lows. So that's actually a bad sign. We are seeing some distribution actually. So right now, mas madaming names below their 20-day SMA. Diba? Kita na rin sa MMTW na below 50% na siya. So right now, we are seeing some signs of bearishness. No? Mas madami ng names below their 20-day SMA. Today is March 15, 2024. So last trading day for week 11. So today is Friday and it's around 8:15 8:15 Philippine time, 8:15 PM Philippine time. So halos sa kalahating isang oras na lang before market open, before the core trading session or regular trading session. Okay. So, main agenda for today's video, as always, no, is to do a pre-market prep. So, non-negotiable natin to every day to do a pre-market prep. Kahit pagod tayo or anything, kailangan mag-prepare tayo for the trading day. We will look at the markets from a top-down perspective, looking at the main indices, the heat maps and everything, and from a bottom-up perspective, looking at the market internals, sa market breadth. No? And at the same time, we will look at our current positions, our open positions, and we will also look at some stocks in focus and mga nagmamaterialize sa setups as well as mga setups or stocks na invalidate na yung mga setups. Excuse. So, okay, we can already starting with the SPY. So, starting with the SPY, no? So, actually, still on an uptrend, still inside this trading range, this uptrending channel. So, all goods pa rin naman actually. All in all, yung ating S&P 500. Double check ko if nakalog. Okay, nakalogarithmic naman. Your key SMA 20, your 20-day SMA is still uptrending. Same with your 50 and 100-day line. So, all goods pa din. We are still on a strong uptrend. So, nothing to be worried about for the S&P 500. So, we are still on an early stage markup, no? Hindi pa naman natin na-reach yung 1618 target. And at the same time, we are still hovering above this 500 area, no? So, importante itong 500. Yung 5K sa SPX, no? Importante yung 500. So, as long as we are still inside this uptrending channel, we are still anticipating to surf this channel, no? On the way up, most probably hanggang 530. But, ayun, since looking at the key market events recently, this trading week, yung CPI, PPI, medyo mukhang nagda-die down na yung optimism ng market, no? So, actually, looking at this trading range, itong uptrending channel, and putting this fixed range volume profile, actually, maganda pa naman. This is your point of control at 480. So, thick volume area yan. So, high volume node. So, karamihan ng shares or majority ng shares from this trading range is at around 484. So, let's say, if ever the SPY breaks below the support trend line, next support level is most probably will be at 500 area muna. If hindi, itong point of control area natin. Yung pinaka-control area natin. Point of control area natin. So, actually, we are still inside this, we are still inside the 10-day trading range. Ito. So, pwede natin itong tanggalin. So, usually, since we are at an all-time high, kailangan mo siya tignan or in my own method, sa method ko, pag all-time high, tinitignan ko palagi yung 10-day range. Lalo na kunwari nagko-consolidate, nagki-create ng box, whatever. So, ito yung trading range natin, 'di ba? You have your point of control at 512. So, itong 10-day trading range still, actually, the candle, yung pinaka-recent candle natin is hovering above the point of control. So that's a sign of bullishness. So that's a good sign actually. Some signs of bullishness pa din. So kahapon, nag-break below that area. Nag-break below 510 actually. But end of day, maganda yung naging recovery ng S&P 500 natin. We saw some recovery end of day. So the last 15 minutes, ito yung regular trading hours natin. Throughout the day, you experience some selling. But end of day, nag-recover ulit. So strong selling but pumasok yung buyers mo. Producing this somewhat hammer. Parang hammer candle siya. So still above 50% of this candle, no? Kung titignan natin. So that's a good sign actually. Kung titignan lang natin tong candle, pinaka-recent candle, um, it closed above the 50% of the range. So mas malakas pa din yung bulls mo actually. Yun yung bottom line. So actually, if we break above 516, 517, the party continues. Next resistance area mo is at 530. Doing this 5-day box range or 1, 2, 3, 6-day box range. Actually, kahit ito, 10-day range na lang. So ito yung ano mo, resistance mo, ito yung support area mo. At around 500, 505. Ito yung value area low mo. If it crosses below 510 ulit, high probability that it will close below this channel. This uptrending channel. So wait lang, inan ko lang muna yung electric fan at medyo malamok. Dito ako sa labas eh. So we are doing our live sessions, di live sessions but recorded pre-market sessions dito sa outdoor workstation ko. Okay, so next is our Qs. So versus the Qs, your SPY is actually stronger. You have your Qs on a sideways range din actually, but hovering below the 50% level of this 10-day trading range. So that's a sign of weakness, but actually still above this 20-day SMA line. So actually malakas pa din. You can also plot an uptrending channel for the Qs. Uptrending channel. So also looking at the bigger picture, we are still on an early stage markup for the Qs. Diba? If magset tayo ng targets for our Qs, measured target at 1618 is at 540, 535. So once it clears 535, that's the time you can consider you are at a mid-stage markup. No? If Wyckoff yan theory lang or Wyckoff theory lang gagamitin natin. Okay, so as long as it's holding MA20, okay pa tong Qs natin. Okay pa yung Qs natin, but actually showing some signs of weakness yung Nasdaq 100 natin. So ano yung ibig sabihin doon? Versus the SPY, actually much healthier yung price action ng SPY versus the Qs. So looking at the Qs pa lang, it signals you that tech names, yung mga main tech names mo like Apple, like Tesla is actually weakening. So makikita din natin yan throughout the heat map actually. And looking at the individual Mag 7 stocks. So yung Qs natin is market cap weighted. Mas leaning toward yung computation niya, yung composition niya toward larger market caps. So mas malaki yung ambag ng mas malaking market cap. For example, Nvidia under the Qs, mas malaking ambag niya for the price movement of the Qs. So much better na view of the Nasdaq 100 is our equal weighted Qs. Itong QQQE, triple QE. So actually looking at the equal weighted Qs, you're seeing some signs of weakness as well. 'Di ba? You're seeing some signs of weakness as well. Actually, at an all-time high or near all-time high, halos 3%, 2% near all-time high lang. So, pwedeng gawin niya is mag-retest siya papuntang $86 or 85 area. So, ano yung sinisignal ng equal weighted Qs natin? We might experience some weakness all throughout the Nasdaq 100 names. So, ganun. Yung akala nating pwede magkaroon ng rotation, high probability that we will see some selling, no, or further selling Pero yun nga, looking at the price structure alone since the all-time high breakout, still on this uptrending channel, no? Kung trend lines lang yung susundan mo. Pero so far right now, your your recent candle, your most recent candle yesterday, Thursday, is closing below this 20-day SMA line. Although slightly below lang, no? Kung stricto ka, considered bearish na siya. But for me, still inside this channel, okay pa naman yung equal weighted cues natin. So what we want to see for the equal weighted cues to give us a risk on signal throughout the Nasdaq 100 names is pag ang gusto nating makita is mag-recover above 89 or kahit 88.80 etong equal weighted cues natin. So ito yung recent candle high, yung yesterday candle's high. If it manages to close above 80 or this recent candle high, yung yesterday candle's high, that's gonna be a good sign for our equal weighted cues. So looking at the equal weighted S&P 500, strong selling actually, strong selling. But your equal weighted S&P 500 is also at an all-time high and still above the 20-day SMA. All in all, intermediate term, long term, still bullish ang S&P 500 in market cap weighted terms and equal weighted terms, no? But looking at this trading range since nag-breakout siya sa all-time high, ito yung point of control mo and actually closed below that point of control. So next support area mo will most likely be at MA20 or possibly at the value area low sa 162. So yan yung next high volume node natin for the RSP. So madami kang mga buyers dyan dati na pwedeng mag-serve as support ulit. They will rebuy again at that level. They will add more at that level. So that's the logic. So right now yung mga bumili at 165, 166 is actually at a loss right now. Ano na sila? They're at a loss ng around 0.6%. So kahapon peak 1.2%. So let's say 2% drawdown na sila, it might trigger some stop losses. So pwedeng ganun. If ma-trigger yung stop losses nila, next support area mo pwede dito sa 162, hahabulin ng MA20 mo, ay ng MA50 mo. Then dalawang confluencing support levels. So strong support level is 160, 162. 162 pala, 160 medyo malalim na actually. Pero pwede pa rin siyang mangyari na mag-retest actually. Deep retest. So looking at the market breadth din, yung mga market breadth parameters natin like MMTW, also pointing us that there will be a correction. A broad-based correction. Anyway, balik tayo dun sa indices natin. Later, discuss natin yan. So, top-down approach again, no? Small caps, looking at the small caps, slightly ugly, actually ugly yung candle niya yesterday. So, your small caps, siya yung pinaka-apektado ng rise in yields, yung pag-angat ng yields yesterday for the past 3 days. So, siya yung pinaka-naging apektado. Same with the DXY. Nung nag-counter rally in DXY, yun, medyo mina yung small caps mo. So, right now, pre-market, slightly up, 0.08%. So, as long as 200 holds, I think, okay pa tong IWM for me. May chance na i-rebreak yung bull trap na yan. So, we have this strong bearish signal actually for the small caps, no? This is a strong bearish signal. Etong bull trap na yan. Nag-breakout sa 3-month trading range. Then, ngayon, medyo sinusupalpal. To invalidate this, maganda mahanap niya yung support niya at 200. Then, re-break 207. No? Or pwede rin mag-consolidate muna dyan. I-trail niya sabayan niya yung MA20. Then, again, breakout ulit. So, that's the bull case for small caps. So, if we are correct na na nasa young bull market tayo, still on an early stage bull market, may room for upside, malaking upside for small cap since siya yung pinaka laggard right now. So once na matapos yung ano mo, mga rotation mo on mega caps, large caps, mid caps, huli yung ano mo, small caps mo. So actually IWM may position ako yesterday na na-stopped out. ASPN, Aspen Aerogels, a small cap under IWM. Nag-anticipate ako at 1750, 1770. Then, nung nag-breakout nung 2 days ago, kala ko gagalaw na. Then, yesterday, na-stopped out ako. Thankfully, okay naman, maganda yung presyo nung na-stopped out ako. 1660, 1670. End of day, 1537. Actually, halos malaking malaking move yung nangyari with Aspen yesterday. So, all super strong selling in the small caps. So, for mid caps, yun, small caps kanina as long as $200 holds for IWM, still okay. For MDY, no, looking at the big picture, still on an early stage markup. This is your accumulation base for around 2 years, halos since 2022. Nag-breakout, wag lang maging bear trap, no? Ay, wag lang maging bull trap, no? Yung tipong slam dunk papuntang 512, 504. Actually, low probability naman yun for me. High probability that we will create this consolidation range at for the MDY. Pwede rin mag-flag, mag-hold yung MA20 mo, then re-break this POC, this point of control at 540, 542. So right now, pre-market, actually unchanged, 0.01 points up ang ating MDY. So mid caps. So looking at the futures, actually hindi na kailangan masyadong discuss yan since we are not actually trading futures actively. So AGG, ano natin, something to discuss lang din. Ito yung ETF, Aggregate Bond ETF. So, kala natin magbe-breakout na ulit. Actually, kahit itong TLT lang, maganda yung structure niya eh. Kala natin magbe-breakout na. So, that's gonna be a good sign for yields. But, ayun, again, on a decline. Buhat na rin ng CPI and PPI. So, that's our main index or main indices looking at our segment. Sige, tignan muna natin yung yung main indices natin. Weekly change and daily change. So far, ito So far, S&P 500 ang nagli-lead in terms of relative strength and trend composites. Scores. So, mid-cap natin, top 2, top 3 is Nasdaq. So, in terms of weekly changes, ang malakas right now is S&P 500 and yung Dow Jones Industrial Average natin. So, money is flowing out toward industrials again, energy names, and materials. So, later makikita natin yan. So, for our segments, mid-cap growth still leads S&P 500 growth, also still strong, actually. Weekly change, positive, siya yung top gainer natin, S&P 500 growth. And etong S&P 500 core natin, no? Also doing good changes or some good improvements actually weekly in terms of weekly changes. So in terms of daily change yesterday, pinakamalaking decline natin was etong SLIV, small cap value. So stay away from value names talaga right now. Stay away from value names. Even mid cap value declined yesterday. So weekly changes, ito yung mga strong or yung mga weakest natin sa segments natin. So stay away from mid cap value, small cap value. Basta right now, antay ka muna ng setup sa small caps. Hindi mo para hanapan ngayon ng ng mga laro. Antay ka muna ng mga base patterns or whatever. If you're gonna focus on swing plays and momentum plays, look for outliers in S&P 500 growth and mga core names ng large caps, mega caps. So that's the idea for the segments. So that's what we are seeing on the segments. So for sectors naman, for our sectors, looking at energy, XLE, weekly change up 3.5%, daily change yesterday of 1%. 1%. So led by oil names kasi nagbe-breakout yung US oil natin. Actually, breaking above $80, no? $80. So good candle close yesterday, but actually that's bad news for inflation since US oil nga is our mostly used commodity. And siya yung pinaka nakakaapekto sa inflation. Sa cost ng lahat. Cost ng lahat. Okay. Materials also good. Actually, as a sector, top 2 in terms of RS and trend composites. Top 2 din in terms of weekly changes. So, financials also doing good. So, ito yung mga positive natin for the week. Although tech sector is actually slightly improving, no? 3 days ago, down yan, around 2%. Down yan ng 2%. Right now, up na slightly, 0.69%. Baka dahil nag-rally din yung Microsoft natin and Google. So later, we will look at those names. So if you're a swing trader, momentum trader, look for names, look for setups in energy, materials, and pwede rin financials. Okay, so next is our market groups. So, top gainer natin, weekly change is oil and gas, actually China equities, China internet, K-Web, and China broad equities or equities na broad, 4.26%. Next is oil and gas, since we are seeing a breakout on US oil. Natural gas as well, also doing some movements. So, 2.28%. So, medyo na topple or natanggal na yung semicon natin as top 1. You have your insurance doing good actually. Wala pa yung ano natin, yung data natin on the components, but for example, one example of insurance name is TRV. TRV. Yan. Wait. Yan, TRV. On a strong uptrend above MA20 and near all-time high. Actually broke all-time high 2 days ago. Nag-inside bar lang today or actually yesterday, kanina. Okay, so if we're gonna look for momentum, swing trades, as always, focus on the top 10. You look for setups. You look for outliers. So far, right now, medyo may slight risk of sentiment, no? All over the board, all over the markets, even crypto, risk off din. Right now, I think nagpo-pull back yung BTC. Yan, so below 70k ulit ang BTC. So critical area yan, yung 70k, no? So round number area yan 70k. So mukhang magsusupport naman sa MA20, but we don't actually know. Yun. So this is our market groups. So special mentions, no? Ayun nga, China equities doing good. You have your K-Web, and your PGJ. So if you're gonna look for names under China equities, pwede mo puntahan yung etfdb.com. Click PGJ. Click mo yung ano na yan, yung input mo yung link na yan. So etfdb.com/PGJ/#ETF and ticker profile or holdings. Pag direct yan. /#holdings. So you have Baba, you have BIDU, you have China, JD, you have Edu, etc. So actually Edu, I think about to break 52-week high again. no? So great uptrend, strong uptrend, an edutech name, education technology name, no, ng China, recovered above MA20 and invalidating this bull trap, no? Bull trap dito relative dito sa trading range mo na 'yan, 'di ba? So ito yung trading range siya, nag-breakout, nag-revert back, nag-break below MA20 but recovered above again in this trading range. So right now that's a good sign for Edu or for New Oriental Education and Tech Group. Okay, so that's Edu. BIDU. Tignan natin yung BIDU. So medyo mag-ano muna tayo, scan tayo. Actually, right now BIDU is actually at support levels. This is a classic Wyckoff accumulation structure, and you have this trend line as your resistance area. So pinaka recent trend line na mapaproduce niya right now is eto. So parang halos kaparehas lang na MA100 mo. So once it breaks above MA100, that's gonna be your confirmation signal for BIDU. So medyo mahirap lang i-trade to mga China names kasi medyo volatile siya, no? But importante nag-hold yung 100 for BIDU. Okay, so hindi na muna natin yung titingnan isa-isa. Matatagalan tayo dyan. But if you're gonna look for setups in China names, hanap ka lang. Tingnan mo lang dyan sa etftb.com. Hindi lang nag-work right now yung ating scraper, no? Medyo nag-work naman, pero siguro sa sobrang daming pinupull na data, medyo mabagal, no? Okay, so far blockchain medyo humina din, no? Humina din ng onte. Down 3.27% this trading week. Expecting more decline din, no? Looking at the BTC, yung underlying ano ba yung magandang term doon? Underlying asset, no? So home builders also down this trading week. Dahil na rin siguro sa Lenner, no? The same time, ano ba yung paano ba i-explain to? Since mas mataas yung CPI, mataas yung PPI, lower probability of immediate rate cuts, that's gonna affect sentiment, no? Toward mortgage rates. At the same time, it will also affect liquidity, no? For everyone na mga home buyers. So broadline retail also showing some signs of weakness na rin. 2 weeks ago, yan yung isa sa mga leading names natin or leading market groups. Okay, so let's move forward. Bottom line, focus on insurance names, nat gas names, oil names right now. May mga outliers naman sa tech. For example, meron ako nito, MSFT, at an all-time high, breaking above this trading range. And yun, opening higher than the previous market close. Opening or up 0.44% this pre-market session. Okay, sige. So next is looking at our macro. So DXY, sige. So starting with the DXY, our dollar. So actually, good sign that the DXY broke below this uptrending channel. You have your MA100 also declining. So actually, I think this is a natural reaction, technical natural reaction. Sumakto lang din na may CPI, PPI. But most likely, price in na rin yun. So right now, nagka-counter rally siya. Yung DXY natin, yung dollar natin. That's a slight risk of signal for equities. Syempre, rising dollar tightens financial conditions. And I think for the DXY, pwedeng mag-resist yan at 103. If hindi, mag-breakout yan sa 103, 103.6 or above this MA100, that's gonna be a strong risk of signal for equities. Pwedeng i-retest na talaga tong 105. Yun, anyway. we shall see for the coming week, this week 12 of 2024. So ideally, what we want for DXY is mag-resist dyan, then a decline toward 101.5. If ever yun yung maging case, yun yung maging scenario na mag-materialize, the party will go on in equities. So high probability that the market will continue its rally. If ever it breaks above this trend line and MA100, expect a further correction in our equities and even crypto. So heavily affected din ng crypto ng DXY. So 10-year yields retesting this resistance area, no, tong 4.3 and breaking above MA100 na rin. Nako, ito yung ayaw ko for 10-year yields. So hopefully bull case, no, mag-resist ulit at 4.3, then decline ulit papunta dito sa 4.0, 4.1 area. So that's the bull case. Syempre, rising yields will tighten financial conditions. Syempre, if it breaks above again or further above 4.35, baka may experience tayong correction tulad nung September or yung Q3 2023. Q3 2023. So, strong correction yung nangyari sa SPY nung nag-rally yung US 10-year yields nung September, nung August-September, hanggang ano yan, October. So, kung pwede may i-compare, lagay natin yung SPY. Yan. Yan. So, nag-decline yung SPY nung nag-break out dito yung US 10-year yields natin. Okay, so that's our US 10-year. So, yun yung mga ano natin, risk off, risk on signals natin. So far right now, mukhang pa-transition tayo sa risk off, no? Kasi nag-break above MA100 siya. Although, you have your MA100 pointing downward, which is actually bearish. Bearish for this name, pero that's bullish for equities. So, that's US 10-year. Next, US oil, breaking above $80 again. Nag-support lang sa 20 SMA, 20-day SMA. You have a declining MA100 as well. That's quite bullish for equities. Kasi baka mag-magnet yan. Mag-serve as magnet yung MA100 natin. So, a declining US oil is good for inflation. Ayun. So, if good inflation, that's gonna be a catalyst for the Fed na mag-cut ng rates immediately or kahit slowly, no? But right now, mukhang the odds is actually not in our favor, no, or in the favor of rate cuts. So looking at the rate cuts, no, yung CME natin, CME watch tool. Ano nga natin. Tignan natin. So tignan natin June probability for rate cut. So actually high probability above 50% yung June cut natin, pero May mukhang malabo talaga yan, pati yung March. So no probability, super low probability for a rate cut for May meeting, even March meeting, no? 1% lang yung probability for a rate cut. So July, no? Highest probability. So most likely July rate cut na yung mangyayari right now. But depende yan. So kunyari ang makita natin for April data, tumaas ulit yung CPI, PPI. Nako, mukhang September or November na to na rate cut. Q4 na, Q3. Q4 tingin ko. Anyway, actually the market right now is parang wala siyang pakialam right now with inflation eh. Since actually inflation is a good thing, since yung stimulus is coming from the fiscal side right now. So kailangan din nila ng onting inflation. But hindi ko na muna masyado discuss yun. No? But ayun, so subjective. So speculations lang naman yun. But so far, based on our framework, this is a risk of signal. A risk of signal. Same with your US 10-year and your DXY. So that's our macro benchmarks. Looking at our liquidity benchmark, ito. So excluding BTFP. So our FED liquidity benchmark was already signaling a risk of for the market to be on a risk of state even 2 weeks ago. Nag-downtick, right now another downtick. Actually hindi natin alam end of week, no? Ano yung kalalabasan nito. But right now we have a downtick in liquidity. Breaking below this recent or yung pinaka-structure high. Recent structure high. So ang ayaw nating makita no for our liquidity benchmark is mag-break below 6.43 trillion. 6.43 trillion. So that's yun yung ayaw natin. If it closes below 6.43 trillion, that's really a risk of signal no in our framework. A rebreak of 6.5 trillion, that's gonna be a tailwind for equities, no? So that's a good sign if it rebreaks 6.5 trillion in liquidity. In Fed liquidity. Global liquidity, ito, including BOJ, PBOC, and ECB. Actually, downtick as well this trading week, no? So 2 weeks ago, may liquidity injections tayo na experience all over sa lahat ng major central banks natin. Right now, we are experiencing some decline or downtick in terms of liquidity. But actually, in terms of structure, still inside this trading range, inside this mother bar noong December 11. What we want for global liquidity is to break above 25 trillion. 25 trillion. So once mag-stimulate yung ECB, which is actually baka low probability din, PBOC on a net liquidity injection mode since they are on an easing monetary policy and fiscal policy. Japan, medyo magta-tighten din yan. Baka mag-tighten din, no? So that's gonna be a headwind for liquidity, global liquidity. That's gonna be a headwind as well for equities. So that's our global liquidity benchmark. So drilling down on the market internal, so let's start with MMTW. Itong ano natin, percent of stocks above 20-day average. So daily natin para mas malinis. So actually looking at this chart, pinaka punto lang ng chart na to, if nandito sa green area, that's actually oversold. That's a sign na magka-counter rally yung market, no? And that's actually a sign of bullish. That's a bullish signal for the markets, no? If nandito siya. But right now, since it's below or freshly break below 50% siya, so mas madaming names below their 20-day average. That's actually slightly bearish. That's a short-term bearish signal, no? For based on our MMTW. What we want to see for our MMTW is a rebreak of 50%. Syempre, but looking at it technically lang no. Nag-breakdown na siya. Nag-close below na siya dito sa sa support trend line may hayop pumasok sa mata ko ata. Yun, anyway, nag-break below na siya dyan. And nag-break below MA50 na rin siya. SMA 50. So, ang nakikita natin based on MMTW, we're gonna experience some broad-based selling muna, no? If it reaches 30 level again, no? So, pwedeng signal yun na maghanap ng setups na ulit. So, right now, wait for the market to recover above 50 muna before you go expose your capital again or deploy your capital again. So, risk off muna tayo, no? Pwede mag-risk on ka but focus on outliers, no? So, same thing with MMFI. Looking at it in technicals terms, technicals lang, no? Nag-breakout siya dyan sa RTL na yan. That's a good sign, but based on this trading range or this candle range, break below siya dito eh, support trend line eh. 'Di ba? Nag-break below MA 100 as well. Nag-resist lang ng onte sa SMA 50 mo. So right now about to break below 50% again. So every time MMFI breaks below 50% level, we are most likely gonna experience a strong correction in the markets. No? If it reaches 20 level or 25 level, that's the time na maghanap tayo ng mga pullback setups. MMOH or yung 100-day average natin na market internal benchmark or market breadth benchmark. So nag-resist din siya dito sa RTL niya. Breaking below this structure low, 61% area. Right now, looks like pa-decline na rin siya, no? Pa-decline na rin. So, pinapakita sa atin ng mga market breadth monitor natin or market breadth benchmarks natin na may incoming correction, no? Or confirmed correction mode na tayo. Actually, that's a good sign, no? Na makakahanap tayong pullbacks. So, more upside, mas madaling mag-trade ng pullbacks. Nandun ka sa support areas and whatnot. So, yun. That's our MMOH. Looking at our internals again, no? Using our market monitor. So, yesterday's trading session, no? Tignan natin yung market internals natin. So, ito. March 14, 2024. Net advance decline. Laki ng difference versus March 13. Diba? 4,200 names declined versus those na nag-advance na 1,200 names only. So, actually, halos for every 4 decliners, you have only 1 advancer. So, dami nag-decline yesterday. Broad-based selling. That's a strong sign of distribution based on this market breadth parameter. Same with volume spikes, negative 1.1K. You have more names na nag-decline with a volume spike versus yung mga names na nag-create ng volume spike and ended at a gain. So, that's a sign of strong selling, actually. Strong selling. Volume spike, tapos selling pa. Diba? Intraday momentum. You have more names down 5% yesterday versus names na up yesterday ng 5%. 0.2 yung daily momentum ratio natin. Eto, medyo bago to, no? So, naglaki ng rate of change versus the March 13 data. So, 275 names nung March 13, nung na-release yung PPI, you have 696 names that net on net broke below their 20-day structure. Kasi itong 20-day high, 20-day low parameter natin is looking at the trading range, no? For the past 20 days. Yun yung 20-day structure yung basis mo. Short-term measure of momentum as well, no? Well, actually not momentum but breakouts or breakouts and breakdowns. So, mas madami ba nagbe-breakout sa 20-day structure? Mas madami bang names na nagbe-break below their 20-day structure? So far right now, we are seeing that there are more names breaking below their 20-day structures or 20-day lows. So that's actually a bad sign. We are seeing some distribution, actually. Same with 52-week high, 52-week low data, which is a lagging parameter, no? Market breadth parameter of breakouts and breakdowns. Since malaki yung range na involved doon, 52 weeks, halos 1 year. 1 year data. 1 year range. Looking at this data, you have net on net na negative 76 names, no? So, mas madami kang names breaking below their 52-week low. So, that's actually a bad sign. Strong sign of selling. Strong sign of distribution. Same with your same with your net 50-day high, new high, new low data. So, medyo intermediate term naman yung perspective na to, no? So, tinitignan mo dito is yung 50-day structures, right? 'Di ba? 50-day structures. So, right now, we saw a net-on-net decline of negative 398, 'di ba? So, mas madaming names breaking below their 50-day structures versus breaking above their 50-day structures. So, eto, another thing, no? First, red data natin dito sa above below 20-day SMA. So right now, mas madaming names below their 20-day SMA, 'di ba? Kita na rin sa MMTW na below 50% na siya, 'di ba? So right now, we are seeing some signs of bearishness, no? Mas madami ng names below their 20-day SMA. Eto, weekly momentum, nothing to look at this masyado. Ito yung pinaka least considered sa secondary bread monitor natin. Okay, so far, mas madami, pero kung titignan mo siya alone, no, sa data na yan, mas madaming down more than 10% this trading week versus yung mga up more than 10% this trading week. So, weekly performance ratio of 0.39. So, a bigger decline so parang kung titignan mo yan in terms of the trend, stable, umangat na unti, and then nagkaroon ng sharp decline sa weekly performance ratio. Kung titignan mo siya in terms of a line chart. Clear naman. So far, it's pointing us to a risk of signal. Di ko pa lang nabibigyan ng time tong iteration natin sa formula natin. So let's look at the key market data released yesterday. Sige. This week. So yesterday, released yung PPI. Gawin natin ito. So actually, kahapon, no, may 30-year bond auction tayo. Lower than the previous rate. So actually, that's good. Pero looking at the 30-year yields, meron kang spike actually. Okay, anyway, dito tayo sa PPI. PPI, month on month, this February data or for the February data, 0.6% versus the consensus of 0.3% lang. Tapos yung previous month mo, 0.3% lang. Halos doble yung PPI mo. So yung PPI kasi, yan yung inflation na involved sa mga negosyo, sa mga producers. Kaya siya producers price inflation data, 'di ba? PPI. So core PPI 0.3%, actually slightly lang above the consensus. So slightly lower than the previous month, so that's good, no? If you're gonna consider core. Pero kung consider mo yung dalawa, you still have acceleration in inflation, no? So retail sales actually good versus the previous month, na negative 1.1%. And initial jobless claims na lower than the consensus and the previous month. So retail sales ex autos 0.3%, slightly below the consensus, slightly above or actually above the previous month. So that's good. In terms of consumption, 'di ba? Pati economic growth. Anyway, dito tayo sa bottom line, no? Dito tayo sa bottom line. So meron kang acceleration in inflation. So that's actually bearish for equities. That's actually a hawkish data. Mas bababa yung probability for a June rate cut. Kasi yun yung pinaka-recent rate cut na in-anticipate ng market or pinaprice ng market. June. Since you have a re-spark or signs of re-inflation, bababa yung probability mo for rate cuts. So retail sales, so slightly above or actually a good data print, no, in terms of economic growth. So retail sales. So you have strong consumption, hawkish data yan kasi pwede yan mag-spark ng re-inflation talaga. Initial jobless claims, slightly lower. So actually another hawkish data kasi you have a strong labor market, 'di ba? So halos tatlong hawkish data yung na-release yesterday, no? Tatlong hawkish data. Kaya rin, ito yung lumabas sa market natin. Yan yung reaction ng market natin. 'Di ba? So, medyo risk off muna talaga. Medyo risk off muna. So, that's our key market data. Today, you have your Michigan Consumer Sentiment report. Actually, high impact daw, pero for me, hindi mo masyadong kailangan tignan. Yun, anyway. So, next week, tignan nga natin. In preparation for next week, sige, tignan natin yung mga key market data next week. So, building permits. On Tuesday, you have Fed interest rate decision on Thursday, but actually nothing much. Eto, press conference, baka makaapekto yan. Baka may sabihin si J. Pao or Chair Pao na something about recent market data. So, expect volatility next week on Thursday. So, Thursday. On Tuesday naman, so first half of the trading week next week, baka continued correction or pwede mag-consolidate yung market. On Thursday, pwede rin mag-de-risk yung market dahil yun nga, you have a Fed press conference that pwedeng magsabi si J. Pao na something hawkish, really hawkish, no? And it might spark another correction or sell-off pala. So, yun yung ano natin for next week. So, sige, focus muna tayo for today's trading session. So, halos ano na lang, no? 23 minutes before market open. So, actually, for my equity positions, equity swing positions, Microsoft, I have Microsoft. All-time my breakout siya yesterday. Right now, pre-market, medyo humina, no? Humina siya. Pre-market, ang ganda niya eh. Kanina, for the first 2 hours. Nag-break below MA20 na siya sa 30-minute time frame, no? So, as long as MA50 holds, for me, I think okay pa naman. I also have Kava, no? So, parang no reaction din naman masyado on yesterday's correction or broad-based correction. I have Soundhound na binenta ko kahapon yung majority at $8. So, right now, medyo nag-break below break below 8 pesos, $8 ulit siya, no? Itong Soundhound. So, 30-minute time frame ko siya pinasukan, 15-minute pala, no? Sa isang port. Dito 30 minutes, pinaka main ano ko. If it close below 30 minute, including extended trading hours, baka ibenta ko na lahat. So, Hood, I also have Hood. Right now, breaking below $18, no? $17.95 pre-market. So far, pinaka-discount ko for my portfolio right now is to stay defensive. Ayoko magbalik ng mga gains, no? On the recent market rally. Since our macro benchmarks, our overall benchmarks, market internals even, no, kahit yung market internals natin is pointing us to a risk of scenario. Kahit na nagkaroon ng buying yung S&P 500 natin for the last 15 minutes yesterday, actually, right now, isa to sa mga crucial points na, ano ba, follow through selling ba or consolidate? Right now, inside bar ba yung gagawin ng S&P 500? Actually, we don't know. So far, right now, pre-market, slightly lower than previous market close, 0.35% down yung S&P 500 natin. So, same with the Qs, most likely also breaking below or also below the previous market close. So, looks like we are gonna experience another pwede tayong maka-experience na follow-through selling on the first half of the trading session. So, that's the high probability scenario na nakikita natin right now. Okay, so I think all goods na tayo, no? Ang di na lang natin nagagawa is looking at the heat maps. So, weekly heat maps, halos mixed actually. You have strong selling or strong declines on Nvidia, AMD. You have Avgo, one of the biggest semicon names as well, Avgo natin. Boeing also down almost 10%. Apple slightly recovering dahil din sa bugbog na siya for the past few weeks. Google is up 7.8%, also Microsoft 4.7%. So AI related name na software. Ito, Microsoft and Google. Oracle up dahil sa earnings report this trading week. Yan. So doing a post earnings drift structure, no? Tong Oracle natin. So Tesla also down 6.8%. Most likely for Tesla, ang next support level niya is $100. Sa akin lang yun sa akin. So I think $100 yung next support level ni Tesla. So far, no catalyst for Tesla right now. So MSTR up ng 30% this trading week. SoundHound up 61% this trading week. So yan yung mga top gainers and losers natin na high value traded, no? So actually Adobe also an AI name, no? Adobe. Yan. Although ito lang down 12% this pre-market session tong Adobe natin. So earnings release kanina post-market. So down na siya 500 opening at 501.90 tong Adobe natin. So strong sign na pwedeng distribution nga to. Distribution tong Adobe natin. Yun, anyway, if bullish ka pa rin sa market, pwedeng gawin mo is to focus on this AI AI names, no? Google, Microsoft. Pwede rin Apple if you're gonna do a counter trend. Kasi baka ang gawin ng S&P 500 is, ang gawin ng mga fundies is, okay, nagde-decline yung mga main names mo, yung Nvidia, Semicon names mo. Pero nag-recover yung mga mo, Google mo, Microsoft, Apple. So magba-balance out lang. No? Magba-balance out lang. Baka yun yung i-print nila. Yun yung i-drawing ng market right now. Pero speculation lang naman yun. 'Di ba? Importante, risk management, wag magbalik ng gains. And ayun, mag-antay ng better market signals and better market environment for your setups, syempre. So that's the weekly heat map. Looking at the daily heat map yesterday, negative 3.2% Nvidia, same with AMD and SMCI. Halos a sea of red, no? You have MSFT, Microsoft, and Google na up yesterday, no? Amazon up din ng 1.24%. You have your oil names na mukhang okay, goods. You have industrials na okay din. Health tech, a sea of red. And Tesla, negative 4.12% yesterday. So, mga natin, automotives, down. Actually, mga deeply affected ng PPI report. So, producers price inflation. Tama ba? Tama ba ako? Tama ba? PPI. Yan. Producer price index pala. Sorry. So, inflation na related sa producers. No? Itong PPI natin. Wait lang Okay. So, ano na tayo? Tapos na tayo dito sa... hindi pa pala. Heat map. Afternoon heat map. Medyo may slight recovery ka. A field of green nung afternoon session. So, may slight recovery ka yesterday on the afternoon session. So, okay. Pre-market. Eto, sige. Patapos na tayo. So, pre-market, actually, halos, 0.5 muna natin. 0.5 multiplier. So, actually, mixed, no? So, you have your main names, your semicon names down, halos 1%. Actually, unchanged yung karamihan. You have some signs of bullishness sa mga natin, non-tech related names natin, no? Halos madaming unchanged. You have your Microsoft down, MSTR down, Google down, Adobe down, negative 12%. You have Netflix up 2.24%. Okay, so that's our pre-market heat map. Actually, slightly neutral, no, for me. Slightly neutral. So in terms of our breadth screener, so looking at the quantity of names uh, na up this pre-market session. So we have 574 names na up this pre-market session, looking at the quantity of names below uh, or at a decline this pre-market session. So we have 489 names. So halos equal lang, halos equal. Halos equal. Slightly above lang. Or hindi, 726 names. Tama ba to? So tama naman. Tama naman. So actually quite bullish this pre-market session. So you have AVD, you have CDLX na up this pre-market session. Although ang good enough volume lang this pre-market session is etong CDLX. Okay, so next is etong Giga Cloud. Giga Cloud. So ano siya, mga small caps na most likely earnings release nila, no, na kaya gumagalaw. HelloFresh up 10%, although pre-market volume is actually shit, 100 shares lang. So nothing much in this name. Hanap tayong mga interesting names, no? So actually, para sa akin, wala masyado. Giga Cloud, GCT, tignan nga natin. Most likely earnings release. Yun, so earnings release today. So good EPS beat siya. You have increasing revenues, halos $20 million above the estimate. Good market structure din, although medyo volatile lang tong name na to, no? Volatile. So small cloud tuloy. Small caps yung GCT. Okay, so nothing much naman for me. For our gainers, eto, mukhang interesting to, Rackspace. Parang dati na trade ko to RXT. Maganda rin yung narrative nito. Parang SMCI. Looking at it, technicals lang. Mukhang nasa accumulation area pa. Accumulation stage. So far, antay ka muna ng magandang base muna dito for RXT. Pero yun, so far wala naman. Nothing to look at or nothing interesting dito sa pre-market gainers natin right now. Wala yung mga tipong wala yung mga big caps na magaganda, no? And mid caps. So that's our pre-market session. So weekly bearish, daily bearish. Recent afternoon session is quite bullish. Pre-market change actually slightly neutral siya na may slight bullishness for me. So 2 out of 2 medyo, pero leaning toward ako dito sa weekly natin So quite bearish nga, no, right now for me. So right now ang diskarte ko is to stay defensive muna. Defensive. I have this main positions. So Microsoft, ingatan ko siya. Right now medyo pangit pre-market. Maybe if it closes below 420, baka ibato ko na, i-unload ko na. Kava as well. If it closes below this yesterday's low, that's a strong sign that it will correct toward MA20. So, hindi muna ako magbabalik ng unrealized gains sa Kava. So, Soundhound as well. If it does not recover above $8 again, this market open, baka ibato ko na din. So, Hood, runner position, I still have Hood. Nakuha ko siya at 14. So, sakto lang. Sa akin, trail stop ko is at 17 right now. For my runner position. Okay. So, some stocks in focus, actually, wala na masyado. Mga na-invalidate na setup. So, thankfully, kahapon pala, no, 2 days ago, nakabenta ako with Len, no? Then, right now, down. Kanina down siya ng 7%. So good sell din yung nangyari sa akin dito. So one of my core rules, no, a day before earnings release, talagang benta na talaga. So TRV, pwede mag-materialize pa rin yan. Insurance name is currently top 1 sa market groups natin. So may potential naman tong TRV. Also good that hawkish yung mga data. So interest rates will remain elevated. That's good for insurance names. So ASPN, invalidated setup na rin. AMD. So actually retesting this trading range right now. So broke below MA20 AMD natin. So good sell yung 200 area sell natin dito. Yun. So another stock, China Equity, PDD. May potential setup to Channel, no? Channel siya. Retesting this accumulation structure. So at the same time, parang touching this anchored VWAP since this July 2023. I mean, May 2023. So ito yung pinaka-recent significant swing low, major swing low. So dun ko in-anchor yung VWAP or yung anchored VWAP, AVWAP. So ito yung channel mo. Once it breaks above this channel, that's gonna be a good sign for PDD. Okay. So I think all goods na tayo. Congrats pala sa mga nakabenta with DG. So, nandyan si Jamil. Sinunod niya lang din yung ating rule na sell before earnings day, no? So, nakaligtas siya dyan sa ano na yan, sa sell-off na yan. So, eto, JBLU. Another interesting name for me. Nag-hold naman siya, no? Nag-hold naman siya above MA20. So, ang catalyst nito is the canceled merger with Save, Spirit Airlines. So at the same time, may malaking holding or malaking stake si Carl Icahn with JBLU. So I'm gonna expect some developments in this name with JBLU. So pwedeng ano siya, cup and handle, no? Kung pupunta ka sa lower time frame, looks like a cup and handle, no? Basically for JBLU. But ayun, looking at the big picture, looks like this is a fresh bear trap. So ito yung big trading range mo since 2020, 'di ba? Halos lahat ng airline names nabugbog. Nag-break below this support area. This is a good bear trap, no? Basically, a Wyckoff spring, no? At accumulation state. You have this resistance na pwedeng itong resistance is quite significant, no? So ito yung parang accumulation mo within the accumulation. So if ever na mag-hold nga to, mag-breakout 7.5, next target mo is ito $9 na or even $10 if may overshoot. But for me, this is a swing trade na may potential. A swing trade na you have this valid bear trap, nag-retest sa support, nag-recover, nag-decline ng konti, then holding MA20. So let's say mag-create ng coil dito, $7. As long as it's above $7, okay siya sa akin. Below $7, medyo pass na ako with JBLU. In anticipation for JBLU, pwedeng mag-rally siya papuntang $9. So that's my trade idea for JBLU. Okay, so I think all good sa tayo. So far, stay defensive for me. I'm gonna stay defensive. Poprotektahan ko yung mga profits ko. And I'm gonna wait for the next cycle again. Or short-term bull cycle. Or short-term swing for another. Or continuation swing pala, no? For our sa US equities. So far, Bitcoin, bearish bias. I'm focused on shorting. Scalp shorting for crypto. So that's my pre-market prep. If you have any questions, shoot nyo lang. Pwedeng nyo i-on yung mic ninyo and pwede kayo mag-type If wala ng questions, please type 1. Then we can end the session and upload this pre-market prep for everyone. Okay. So that ends my pre-market prep. So a very productive week. We have good trades actually for this. Actually, month on month, no? Month on month. So, kung titingnan natin itong consolidated summary ko, I have total of 12 trades this month, 6 losses, 1 break even, 5 wins. Actually, I have a 50% win rate in this portfolio. An average of 5:1 or 5R multiple na gain. So all in all, I have 3K in realized profit in this portfolio. Halos 10%. 10%. 10, tama ba? 8% lang pala. 8%. 8% up ako this month in this portfolio, no? So that's yun yung need kong protektahan right now kasi it will serve as my profit buffer for the next rally up. So yun yung ko, yun yung way forward diskarte ko. Yun, so that ends my pre-market prep. See you next week again on Monday. No, actually baka mag-record na lang ako for our weekly debrief and forward guidance. So upload ko na lang siya sa learning portal natin. So a look back on the trading week bale. So, yun. That ends my pre-market prep. Ingat kayo. God bless and good night. No? Boss Rans. Good luck this trading session. 3 minutes before market open. Ingat, ingat. God bless. Bye-bye, Boss Marlon and Boss Rans. Ingat.